Yo,
Oh, what up?
Tuesday,
Tuesday. It's like
live
old
on a
school.
Tuesday.
It's like
Yeah,
really
it's
old
the way
school.
we used to do it.
Well, we never did live on Tuesdays, but
We recorded it on Tuesdays.
we did. Tuesdays were the day,
Whatever happened to that, man?
I
Good
don't
old
know.
Tuesdays.
Somebody else decided to change it to Wednesdays, and I'm pretty sure it was you.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was you, so I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, it was not me, man. I'll tell you what.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going. I'm trying to get this fucking beef jerky out, but it's not working.
Is this the same brand as last week? Or is this a new brand of beef jerky?
It's a stick, though.
Ooh, it's like a hot rod.
Yeah.
Man,
That's
I used to
jacked.
love those so much. And then, salt.
Yes.
So salty.
Salt is the way of life. But it is what it is.
Fair.
Yeah.
I guess.
Go dog. My
Man,
dog.
well, viewers, listeners, today you're in for a pretty streamlined. It is what it is podcast. We're very focused today. Very
Totally.
focused. We got just a handful of things we're coming at you to check out today, namely our reactions to the Game Awards, which we totally promised we were going to do immediately following the Game Awards until it went after 11 p.m. and I got tired.
Yeah, it's all Matt's fault.
But we streamed it like we promised. We streamed it.
Did.
It was live.
We definitely did it. We definitely did that.
And so that happened. But right off the bat, let's just dive right in. So Game Awards happened last week. Alex, what was your impressions, your takeaways, just generally speaking? What did you think of this year's Game Awards?
What a waste of goddamn time. I mean, let us host it again next year for sure. Yeah, absolutely. But what a waste of time.
I would have to agree with you. It was hard to watch. I know you told me you fell asleep.
Oh, multiple times. Because there's things you were commenting like, oh, that looks cool. I don't remember what you're talking about.
I definitely I did make it through the whole thing. I was struggling throughout to stay awake or hold my attention. It just goes to show there wasn't anything big in the last year when it comes to gaming. Nothing so big, so dramatic that it was like a rat's race getting into each of the categories where you're like, oh man, I don't know who's going to take this. Each round you were kind of like, okay, yeah, I have a pretty good idea of who's going to take it, which we'll get into in a minute. But even the trailers, the world premieres, it was all incredibly underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, just I guess horror is the story these days.
Yeah, a lot of horror titles for sure.
But whatever. Yeah,
that's not to say everything was bad.
Nothing, we saw maybe a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn, a little bit there, and that was really the only big name that we saw.
There's the teaser for the Wonder Woman game, which whatever.
The
Suicide Squad game where they talked about the Flash being the enemy there. That was kind of interesting.
That.
It was
I must have missed that.
That was all right. There was a couple cool artsy indie games that I wouldn't mind checking out. But yeah, the overall trailers, announcements, I'm gonna look up all of the announcements that happened.
Yeah, so I was paying attention for the first part of it, at least really well. I was writing everything down, and then I just stopped. Because the first thing we saw, I think, was Hellblade 2. Someone says sorry.
Yeah, which Hellblade is an amazing game, and I don't.
Yeah, I mean it was good. I mean, obviously, I didn't enjoy it as much as other people did. I think, and I played it the way it was supposed to with headphones and everything. I'm pretty sure I own it digitally, so I could play it again.
Okay,
but I mean, I guess I didn't get the premise of it that well in comparison to others.
Fair.
And now this one is obviously expanding more into, because she was alone in the first one, it was mostly just her, and then now it's obviously she's gained a gang of people.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I don't remember. And then we saw like the first award. I think was the independent game, which best independent game, which was Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
Yes, yeah. Which honestly, I still really want to play. That is one of the few games that came out in the past year. I think it's a PlayStation exclusive, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
And it's beautiful. Like it's just like such an amazing art style. It's right up my alley in terms of video games, for sure.
Which also won best debut indie game, which I don't.
That's cool.
I mean, seems like the same thing, but whatever.
Well, no, because like a debut indie game would be like you as an indie developer, your debut title, right? So you're debuting with this game. So I think that's fair. I think it's beautiful. I've yet to play it, but from what I've seen and from what I've heard, it sounds reasonable. You know what? Trailer did come off as like pretty cool looking. That's the new Star Wars game, Star Wars Eclipse. We don't know a whole heck of a lot about it yet, but it is being developed by the same folks that did like Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, all those games. So Quantum Dream is working on this. Yeah, in conjunction with Lucasfilm Games. Yep.
Yeah, it looks interesting. It's set in the High Republic, so this is like Yoda's still around, but
yeah,
it's like before the whole Skywalker saga really kicks in, theoretically. So
visually, like obviously this isn't gameplay, but like visually, what they're doing, the world that they're building, it does feel very Star Wars. This stuff is kind of like weird. I'm like, okay, I haven't really seen that in Star Wars before. The kind of like, what's his character's name? Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy playing the drums. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely some interesting things happen there. Yeah, Star Wars Eclipse. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it was probably a couple years before we see it, but hey, it's whatever.
Could be. Yeah, for sure.
What else we got? And then we got Lost Ark, whatever the hell that was. I don't remember. Wonder Woman, obviously the announcement of that from the guys who did the Arkham series.
Yep.
And then
it's the folks that did the Middle Earth Shadow of War game.
Oh, well, I don't care.
Alan Wake 2 was a big announcement for it was like the kickoff of like the horror titles that they were showing, the horror trailers. But yeah, coming in 2023, it's long awaited sequel. I think it's been 10 years since the first one was out, and it was a game that people really, really loved at the time. So obviously that is exciting for fans of the first game.
Yeah. We got the best performance by the winner was Maggie Robertson for Resident Evil.
7? I can see that.
Or 8, whatever one it is.
She played the
the tall lady in black.
Dimitrescu, I think it's called.
Yeah, the tall lady. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, fair. She definitely was like out of every character that I heard about throughout the past year, seemed to be the one that got the most mainstream attention.
What else we got there? We got the Sonic Hedgehog 2 trailer. Now that's all over the place.
The movie. Yeah.
And then we saw a kind of a Knuckles. New clip of Horizon Zero Dawn trailer. Kinda. Not really. Then we got the best action game was Returnal. I mean, then we saw which I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, there wasn't really a lot of action games that came out this year.
There wasn't. I think like Deathloop was up there against it, right?
Yeah, and then obviously Far Cry, which I mean, meh. Which did not win what it should.
Far Cry 6. Yeah, it didn't really seem to like grab much attention considering like the massive hype train that went behind it. It didn't take much. I know Deathloop won several categories throughout the night. Let's see. Yeah, they got best game direction, best narrative to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, which I mean, it was a very story-driven game. If you compare it to all the other games, I mean, the closest one after that would be probably Life is Strange, and then It Takes Two. As far as narratives go, art direction to Deathloop. I was a little bit surprised that Forza Horizon 5 took best audio design. It's a car game. Like what? Yeah, I get that it like they did a really good job of making the noises of your vehicles and everything that goes into it. They did a very good job, but they've been doing it for years and they've just been iterating on what they've had before. So like, I was a little bit shocked that they won that.
Well, I mean, any car game to me seems fucking pointless. So, but that's just me. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Seems
Great.
kind of on point, kind of sound pointless, but whatever. Unless you can throw stuff at people like in Mario Kart, but even then,
yeah.
What else we got going on? Then we saw Destiny 2.25 because there's 7,000 versions of this game now. Beat Saber Lady Gaga version.
Yep.
Matt's getting that first moment when he gets a chance.
It's out now. I have not gotten it. I haven't even touched my headset. We got a Matrix Resurrection trailer, which is all right. And then on top of that, they announced The Matrix Awakens, which is a interactive experience set in the Matrix world. And Alex, I have to ask you, I told you to download this. Have you done it?
I can't download words, Matt. But
I sent you the link after I realized.
I haven't had time. I haven't got around it. Weekends are bad.
Well, I've been
watching a lot of Harry Potter lately, so
I will say it's so basically this is like a glorified tech demo for Unreal Engine 5. If you have an Xbox Series X, if you have a PlayStation 5, download The Matrix Awakens. It's free. It's not going to take a lot of your time to play through it. But if you don't come away impressed by the visuals, something's wrong with you. It looks incredible. They really nailed the look of the Matrix movies. And yeah, I'm not going to say every moment looked photoreal, but I'm going to say that it met what it looks like in the movies, which is saying something, So highly recommend checking that out. It is free.
Free.
So they announced also this Rumbleverse. Now this is it's described as a colorful pro wrestling battle royale game.
Definitely fell asleep before this one. I didn't see it.
So there was a beta. I signed up. I got the code. Went to play it. Had the time zone wrong. Beta ended before I got a chance to get into it. So at this point, we haven't even seen gameplay trailer. We've just seen like this really over the top trailer cinematic, which I described during the event as it looks like Fortnite without guns. It's just people running around a town without weapons, and they're just like attacking each other and like wrestling and whatnot. And it's like very like wacky characters. Like the cover is a guy in like a shirt and tie, but he's got like a rooster hat on his face, and it's just like, all right, why not?
Yeah,
looks weird. Interesting. Yeah,
weird.
I can probably bring it up here actually.
Pandusu says, I think there was some gameplay in that trailer.
Was there?
I don't know.
Or if there was, I missed it. I don't know. I watched this whole thing. I didn't feel like I saw true gameplay. Like, yeah, maybe this is gameplay. Yeah, okay. I think it was just the cameras moving around that made me really feel like it was.
I feel like this is gameplay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just not going to get all these wacky camera. Okay, yeah, you know what? Maybe I
Matt,
misunderstood.
Get with it.
Fair enough.
Get with it. If I was awake, I would have probably seen it, and I would have been okay, cool. But I did not care. So
fair enough. There's the guy with the rooster hat. It looks interesting. I'm kind of sad that I missed out on the beta.
Yeah,
it could have been a fun time checking this one out, but. Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying about it being like Fortnite and all that. So
it's going to be on everything. It's going to be on PS4, PS5, Windows PC, on the Epic Game Store, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Like you're going to be able to play it just about everywhere. So
yeah,
I hope it's like a free to play game like Fortnite, so that I don't have to spend $60 on this. I can actually play it. That'd be ideal.
Yeah. Oh, what else we got there? We got a Gollum trailer.
Yeah.
Who knows where that's really going to go? But for those Lord of the fans, What?
Lord of the Fans?
Lord of the Fans?
Is that supposed to be like a combination of Lord of the Flies meets Lord of the Rings?
I don't know. Maybe it's an OnlyFans account. You don't know.
Oh.
No, I don't know. But Lord of the Rings fans, I guess, are getting another game that we need for the Lord of the Rings world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. Quite.
Yes.
Yes. And that is the end of my notes, so I don't know anything else that I remember really what happened.
You know what the most underwhelming announcement from this whole event was? PUBG Battlegrounds goes free to play. Woo hoo. This game has been out for a long time. First in early access, then officially released. For a while there, you could get it on Game Pass and play it for free there. What year is it? They're so far behind Fortnite at this point. Like, yes, they have a dedicated following. Yes, people are still playing this game, but if their whole goal is to make it free to play so that they can be like competitive with Fortnite, it's too little, too late. Like, this is like not the time to try for that. To me, it's just like, okay, we've given up trying to like monetize this game now. We're just gonna put it out there and let it be what it is at this point. And like, the amount of effort that went into marketing that is gone free to play was just like, really, like, I'm so underwhelmed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole thing. I mean, like, Fortnite is kind of just taking over all that whole style of
the battle royale style.
Yeah, so there's no point in it anymore, anyways. So, I mean,
somebody will come in, they'll replace them for sure.
I mean, Warzone is doing it's what it can, right?
Yeah.
So, boo hooty hoo.
Yeah. There's a big update for Among Us. Not that big. It's going VR, so you're going to be able to play in first person mode. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm gonna have to try it. I hope I can. I'm saying that I hope I can play it against people who aren't in VR, but now I realize I'd be at like an incredible disadvantage. Something tells me they're not going to mix VR with non-VR, but who knows? I mean, it's an indie game. It's a small game. They can do whatever they want. Maybe it's like you can decide if you want to be able to play with people in VR and also not VR. Who knows? We haven't gotten a lot of information. Pantsu says they think it's on Oculus only, so VR only. I mean, the VR element might be Oculus only, but who's to say that the only people you can play with is on Oculus, right? You know, Beat Saber, you can get through Oculus and you can play it with people on Steam and vice versa. Crossplay is possible. We'll see. More information to come.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was supposed to be on Switch. So, it is on Switch. Sorry, what was the other one? It was supposed to be on PlayStation a long time ago. Did it ever actually end up coming onto PlayStation?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty confident it came out for most platforms at this point.
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something else. What am I thinking? Fall Guys. Fall Guys was supposed to go to Switch, and I don't think it ever did. It might still come, but I know that was announcement. Was that at E3?
I think it got pushed back to 2022 now. Yeah, it has.
But then that's the whole like game on its own, right? Like it's also a dying game. Like, we haven't played it in forever.
Yeah, and I mean, they've got at least season 6. They're releasing more, modes. They're releasing more costumes. I think I saw you're going to be able to play as like Aloy or some of the Nightmare on for Christmas characters like Jack Skellington and so on. You'll be able to play as in Fall Guys. So like, they're still trying. It is intended to come out on Xbox early next year as well. But again, it's like, why is it taking so long? Like, did they just have like a licensing deal with PlayStation? That's why it's not out yet on Xbox and Nintendo. Who knows? You can play it on PC. You can play it on PlayStation. It's been fun for what it is. Anytime I popped into it, I've usually had a good time. We've usually had a good time. But yeah I mean, it's one that I'm not going to sit there and play week after week after week. It's one that you kind of hop in, hop out over time, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about the game of the year. I want to hear your thoughts. So the contenders were Deathloop, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts, It Takes Two, Ratchet & Clank, Resident Evil Village. Those were the contenders. The winner was It Takes Two. Before I say anything, what do you think, Alex? What do you think should have won? And then what do you think as far as It Takes Two being the winner?
Well, based on the other awards from the show.
Yep.
I don't know how it won. Because if you look at it, you got best character or best actor in the Resident Evil
best
game.
performance. Yeah.
You got Returnal, who won best action game.
Metroid Dread got best action adventure game.
You got what was the other one?
Deathloop won several awards.
Deathloop was nominated for like a million things.
Yeah.
So, and then this one comes out of nowhere. Like I've only seen one person play it, and they looked like they were having fun. But I don't like a lot of co-op games, and we know that. If you didn't, but I don't. And what am I talking about now? I'm getting all distracted.
The comments have got you.
Yeah.
Alex can't multitask.
No, that's why I don't like co-op games. Because then you got to help somebody. But here's the thing: like, I don't think I saw anything about it anywhere. I didn't see a lot of promotion about it. I didn't see. Yes, it was for an indie game. I think it's an indie game. For as big as it was, the only time I saw it was at E3, I think, or something. Whenever they announced it, is the only time I saw it, because you and I were like, "Well, I'm never gonna get that, but you're gonna have to get it because I can't." Or was it the other one?
I mean.
Or no, that was the Book of Love. That was the Book of Love that I couldn't get, that I would not get, which is very similar.
No, this is the same game. No, Book of Love's in this game.
Is it?
Yeah, that's one of the characters that leads to things happening.
Oh, the shit that I know.
Book of Love.
Yeah. But yeah, like we said, we got Panzu saying he's pretty happy with it, or she, sorry, I don't know. Or they. I'm pretty happy about it. Happy it won. Didn't see it coming, but I'm happy with it. Okay. And then we got
there we go. It's been clarified.
He is fine, And then we got Strife Force. Village should have won. I think I'm with that. I think Village should have probably won. It had the biggest reaction, I think, with in the world. I think going forward, like, everyone was talking about it. Everyone was in love with it. Everyone loved the woman that was in it. And as a Resident Evil game, we're walking away from, the Chris Redfield storylines and all that stuff. I have no idea. I haven't really played those games in so long. The last one I really fully played, I think, was 5 with you in my fucking university,
in the college days,
college bedroom on this, like, what was it, like a 12-inch screen or something on my PS5, my PS3 or whatever the hell it was on.
Yeah.
Dual screen, and then never having any ammo because that game was the fucking worst.
That's every Resident Evil, Alex.
I don't know. Okay, so I tried playing, like I talked about this before. I tried playing the first one recently on my PS5, and in the first one, I mean, the controls are so backwards, and it's like, and I know that's the way the game is played, and it was so annoying. But anyways, EA paid for the win. Yeah, I can see that.
Well, I would be surprised. Okay, so I do have some thoughts on this. So heading into this, obviously I'm a huge Nintendo fan, and I thought that Metroid should have won. But regardless, let's go a little history lesson here. A couple years ago, a little developer from Hazelight Studios came onto stage and had an interview with Jeff Keighley, the host and founder of the Game Awards, and it went viral. He talked about this game that he was creating that was going to be amazing, this amazing story mode, like, it's supposed to be amazing. Well, away it comes out, this viral hit thing happens. We play it. What did you think of A Way Out, Alex? We played through the whole thing in like one sitting, I want to say maybe 2. It was
A Way Out. Yeah, okay. We played it twice. It was okay. You know me, I'm very story based, and it had a story a little bit there, but I found it very like, spoiler alert for those who haven't played the game. I just felt like when you were building up all the way to just have to fight each other at the end, I was just like, what the? Like the one co-op game I really did enjoy, it was Army of Two, the very first one.
Oh man, great co-op. Yeah.
That was a very good one, and then the second one came out and it was garbage, but but the first one was really, really good, and it was a shame that they couldn't stick with that premise. Well, they stuck with the premise a bit, but kept it going, and they kind of just evolved into a way that didn't really work.
Yeah. So taking back to my history lesson story, his hit goes viral. Obviously, good news for the Game Awards. Great news for Hazelight Studios. This guy got a lot of like FaceTime. I feel like Jeff Keighley and this guy have a tight relationship, and I'm not saying this was collusion. I'm not saying that it was rigged for him to win. I'm not saying that EA paid for the win. something feels sketchy because like I have played part of this game. I have not finished it, so fair. If it's really good by the end, I'd love to hear in the comments. Let me know. But from what I've played so far, the gameplay's fine. The voice acting is fine. The graphics leave a bit to be desired, in my opinion. It's not the art style for me. I don't need photorealism, but going back to what we were talking about earlier, Kenya's art style to me was beautiful. That game looks incredible from a visual standpoint. This game, whole time I felt very underwhelmed. The voice acting felt very underwhelming. I'm playing it with my partner. She, is not a core gamer. She is not crazy into games, but she will play game to game, and we've tried to play it through, and I'm just like, we put it down and we haven't picked it back up ever since. It's just it didn't draw us back in after we played a couple hours, if that.
So I'm just on the Game Award website here, and because I was like, how do they decide who wins in the Game Award?
Sure,
right? It's kind of like a big thing. So
fair.
I was like looking through it here, and like, so the winners are determined by a blended vote between of the voting jury, which I will describe in a second, at 90%, and the public fan voting, which is 10%. Fans can vote for their favorite games on the GameAwards.com and also via social media platforms and select categories. In China, fans can vote on the winners via Bilibili. Fans voting closes Wednesday, December 8th, blah, blah, blah. So the way it works is nominees are most for most categories of the Game Awards are chosen by an international jury of over 100 global media and influencer outlets, selected by their history of critical evaluation of video games. That doesn't really say who it is, but kind of does.
You get the picture.
Yeah, yep. Specialized juries are also convened for other categories, including esports and accessibility. Each voting outlet completes a confidential, unranked ballot based on the collective and diverse opinion of its entire editorial staff, listing out its top 5 choices in each category. Ballots are then tabulated, and then 5 games that appear on the most ballots are put forth as nominees. In the event of a tie, 6 or more nominees will be announced in the category. Now, here's the big thing that I think that you'll like, or don't like, or don't believe. Game Awards producer Jeff Nye, I don't know how to say his name, is not a member of the jury and does not vote on the nominees or the winners. So,
I mean, good. He shouldn't.
No.
Yeah, it is what it is. I think Pantsu summed it up well. Fine is kind of how I would describe all the nominees. Again, yeah, for me, there hasn't been like a big game in the past year that I've just been like, oh my gosh, like this is the game that I'm so excited for. Blah blah blah. Like, considering this was the kickoff year for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, we've talked about this ad nauseum. Xbox, until very recently, has had nothing. It's been a year of nothing for games. Like, we got Forza Horizon 5, finally. Halo Infinite, finally.
Literally comes out the day of the Game Awards. So, like,
yeah. Like, not going to have a chance at winning the awards.
No. Well, next
we waited
year,
a whole year for that.
Win everything.
PlayStation 5. What of consequence has really come out on PS5 in the last year? That's like been like a PS5 like killer title.
Everything came out for the PS5 came out before the last year's Game Awards. Like, if you look at
like Miles Morales was a PS4, PS5 crossover.
Yeah,
Last of Us 2 was
more
a PS4 title.
game. But,
yep.
And then you had that Asian one.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. Which is a PS4 game, but I mean PS5. There is no real PS5 game. Not even now. There's no real PS5 game that's out. The only real PS5 game that's ever been really came out that I believe in is the Miles Morales story.
And again, it was a PS4 game. Like, it was using the Spider-Man game engine, and then they just made Miles Morales off of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, they gave it a bit more, like ray tracing and things like that for PS5. You have a bit more game modes. You can choose 60 frames per second, all that kind of stuff. But again, like, this has been a year where hardware came out, but I don't feel like we got anything really to support the hardware yet.
I still believe that it was a PS5 game, because when you launch it, it's made for the PS5. Like, there's no loading, it goes right into the game from the beginning.
Sure.
In my opinion. So I think it's a PS5 game straight up, but and I think it's just a money thing that it came out on the PS4. Personally,
yeah,
because
fair enough.
I think you don't get the real feel of that game until you're on the PS5 with it.
Yeah.
Then again, I didn't play on the PS4, so I don't know.
Yeah, and again, come back to Halo Infinite. Like, I'm sure it's got a really good story. I'm sure they did a great job. It's the first like open world Halo game. I'm gonna play it very soon. I'm wrapping up Forza Horizon 5 right now, just completing everything. Like Panzu's right here. It is too late. It came out the day of the Game Awards. It will be eligible for next year, but by that point, I mean, yeah, critically, it should be up for debate as being in the running for these awards, but we'll see. We got a whole year to see what's going to happen there. So yeah, semi-open world. It was originally supposed to be the size of Breath of the Wild, apparently, and then pretty early on in development, they cut that down to a third because they were just like, yeah, no, too ambitious. Not going to pull that one off.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can all talk about Halo for never again.
Speaking of Halo, there's a TV series that they talked about at the Game
so we saw the first like teaser trailer for it. I mean, if all that is actually in the actual show, it looks pretty good. I don't know if it's gonna follow the Master Chief story, or is it just gonna be a person that looks like him. Or
I imagine like it's gonna be Master Chief. That's the character. That's who's gonna draw it in. If you're gonna do not Master Chief, it's got to be another Spartan. They wouldn't be wearing like the Mark IV armor, right?
Well, you never know. You never know. I mean, like,
well, speaking, so
they did do their one a couple. You make
an interesting comment, and I have a good segue here. So feels 10 years too late. For any of you guys who have watched the Xbox docu-series Power On, the story of Xbox, came out yesterday. If you attended Xbox Fan Fest, you got to see the first 3 episodes 2 days ago. I did. I watched the first 3 2 days ago. I watched the last 3 yesterday. And they talk about when the Xbox One came out in the giant clusterfuck of an announcement where they talk about TV ad nauseum to a presentation filled audience of gamers. People clearly weren't happy. We know how that played out. PS4 went on to sell like 7-1 or 8-1 consoles compared to Xbox One for the first good portion of their history. And during that event, they announced a Halo TV series as part of Xbox Studios. Clearly, much time went by. The at the time head of Xbox left. Don, can't remember his last name. That's when Phil Spencer came up in 2014 as head of Xbox, and then they killed Xbox Studios. So here we are, 10 years, not quite 10 years, but almost 10 years later, and once again they're talking about a Halo TV series. Even before that, though, like 2007, I want to say, when Halo 3 came out, Neil Blomkamp was like supposed to be coming out with like a Halo movie. They've been talking about this over and over again. We got Nightfall, the mini TV series there a little while back. I feel like there's been a couple.
There was a Forward Unto Dawn, and that was kind of
Forward Unto Dawn.
Yeah, TV series back in 2012. Then they had was like another one called Fall of Reach, which was like it's kind of a animated series about it based on the original book. So it's not like this is uncommon that we're gonna get.
They've been trying. More. They've been trying over and over again.
And like if you're looking at it, like with the Lord of the Rings TV show coming out, and then we also right now have the Wheel of Time running right now,
which I love.
And then so it's not going to be uncommon that these kind of TV shows are coming. I'm like, we already know that obviously the Uncharted movie's coming. Like, we're going to see a lot more gaming franchises becoming television.
I mean, they've been trying for years. It just seems like they're having more success recently with actually getting them to the big screen. Like in the past, it was like, oh yeah, we're going to make this movie. We're going to make this game. We're going to make this this game movie, I should say. And it's just over and over. It was like talk, and then no results, right? So I'm actually happy to see a couple of these things coming to light, but it's still kind of like those. It feels like the 90s before Spider-Man 1, Tobey Maguire came out. You know what I mean? Like before that happened.
Well,
we're still not at that point in game movies and TV series.
Yeah, well, we got Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City that came out a couple weeks ago, and it is bombing everywhere.
It was Robbie Amell, who's the main character.
Him and Who else is it? I like the girl that's in it. Kaya Scudero, Kaya Scudero. I don't know. I can't pronounce her name. But she plays Claire, and then you got Robbie Amers playing Chris. So, and then you got Tom Hooper who's playing Albert Wesker, who's you would know him from the one show. I don't remember what it's called. The something Umbrella Academy.
Names, yeah, right.
Strikeforce is waiting for a Splinter Cell movie. Interesting.
I know like, that would be an interesting movie. I think I immediately think back to the Hitman movie that came out in the mid 2000s, which was just awful.
Well, so, I mean, like if you're into the big Tom Clancy games, I mean, we're getting. I thought they were making a Tom Clancy game too, but I can't remember. Maybe I'm wrong. But I'm sure Splinter Cell will. Here's the thing, if whatchamacallit, a Metal Gear Solid movie does well, I guarantee we'll see something like Splinter Cell come soon, right after. They're not the same in a sense, but they are very that kind of like military-esque kind of movie.
Special ops kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I think the judgment will be Metal Gear Solid and how well that goes over. Before we see anything from Tom Clancy's series. Which, you never know. You never know with these days. He's got a lot of money, so we might even see a TV show before we see even a movie of Splinter Cell. Because what is it, Jack Ryan? That's doing really well on Amazon, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very well. So yeah, I know it's not like the video games, but
yeah. Uncharted's gotten made. Yeah, it's coming out. They've tried to redo a lot of the scenes from the game, specifically Uncharted 3 with the plane and the cargo falling out. And they really gave it some of the Uncharted games physics. The way you see Tom Holland like moving himself and whatnot very unnaturally. It looks all right.
Well, I mean, if you watch the thing with Uncharted, that took 10 years of development. It took 10 years from being greenlit to be made to being actually made and put on screen. Because 10 years ago, it was supposed to be Mark Wahlberg who played Nathan, but that was 10 years, and then they decided, you know what, he's a little too old now. He's going to play Scully. Let's
talk about Nathan Fillion, who when Mark Wahlberg was talked about, Nathan Fillion was already too old, but everybody was like, he'd be it, and then he did that fan video of being Nathan Drake, which is awesome. If you haven't seen it, YouTube it. Nathan Fillion is Nathan Drake. It's very good.
In that one, it was good, but even Nathan Fillion was a little too close to the age of the guy who's playing Sully, right? Yeah. I felt like it was a little too old. This is a good.
I agree. He is Drake.
This is a good. If it was 20 years ago, then it would be perfect for him. But I think now it's a little late for even Mark Wahlberg or Nathan Fillion. So I mean, and Tom Holland,
it's really funny that we're talking about Nathan Fillion because my partner Jamie, she was watching the last season, the last episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer last night. She had never seen it before, and sure enough, I see Nathan Fillion as a very young Nathan Fillion coming in as Caleb, the final nemesis of Buffy. I was like, wow, has he aged quite a bit since then? But sorry, Alex, not to cut you off. Yeah, I think Tom Holland, in my opinion, he looks a little young to be playing Nathan Drake. Personally, I think he looks a little young.
I think it's Tom Holland he's always going to look young, and I think he's going to have the Tom Cruise look for a long time, where he's just always going to be the same age for the rest of his fucking life. I think it'll be good. I think it's going to be fanfare, and I think I'm just going to like it for the fact that it's Uncharted. I don't know if I'm going to like it. Yeah. I don't think it may not be the greatest movie of all time, Uncharted. But
Speaking of which, so they talked about how Uncharted The Lost Legacy, or I think that's what they're calling it. It's the bundle of Uncharted 4 and the tie-in game, or was a tie-in game called Lost Legacy? Now I'm questioning myself.
It's the Lost Legacy. So the Lost Legacy is it's its own game, but it's the fourth one. But it's a side story of Chloe and Nadine.
Right. Oh, sorry. It's called Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection. So
so you're thinking that's for
and Lost Legacy.
It's
together. Remastered for PS5. I want to say PC as well, but I could be wrong. Yeah, PS5 and PC. So they showed off a little bit of that. So it's got updated visuals. The whole bit.
Yeah. Strife for saying that he looks like a kid and Drake is like 30. I think he's like 30 in the second one. I'd say in the first one he was young. I think he was in his 20s in the first one, then the 30s, and then you get in the 40s in the last one. I think it does skip a couple of years every time, but personally,
yeah, I mean, well, by the fourth one, he's certainly like
he's definitely
play him in the fourth one now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He definitely could. But yeah, I think we talked about this. If you buy the Uncharted Lost Legacy bundle, you get a movie ticket with it. Again, we don't know if that's happening in Canada, but it's happening throughout Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and US for sure.
I don't need it.
PlayStation Store. We'll just buy it.
Will I probably buy it? Who knows? We'll see how it goes.
I mean, I've still yet to play Lost Legacy. I don't know how I missed out on that one. I feel like I've seen it for like $10 at Best Buy.
I swear to God, I lent it to you at some point.
You did, but you didn't. I think you intended to, and then you traded it in or something.
Whatever.
But yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll get around to playing it.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, there's some things that you can just do. It's kind of like every game. Like how would I like in Uncharted 2 and I think it's 2 and 3 where if you're in the pool where he's like Marco Polo when he does when he's just swimming in the pool. If you like little quips like that.
Yeah, getting the little trophy.
There's
for that.
A few things in like that in the Legacy one as well.
Yeah,
it's short. I'm actually Lost Legacy is like a DLC basically, but you pay full price for it. But
I don't think I knew this, but if you purchase Uncharted 4: A Thief's End or the Lost Legacy, or both of them as a bundle, either digitally or on a disc, you can actually buy an upgrade for $10. Obviously, that would be US. I would assume. I don't know what's going to be in Canada. It says 10 euros 13. As well, though, so it could also be 10 Canadian. We'll see. So yeah, January 28th, 2022, you'll be able to upgrade if you still have that disc. So I don't know if that means like just having one of the games is enough to get the whole upgrade, or if you're just gonna get one of the two games.
We'll
see. But that's exciting because I would like to play it on my PS5. Those who claimed it as part of the PS Plus collection, though, in getting your PS5, you get nothing, as was the same with like the Final Fantasy VII remaster and all that kind of stuff. So. Fun.
We'll see what happens. You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be like, let's give these PS5 guys something since we keep screwing them over on PS3, PS Plus every month because we just keep giving them games.
What's like the next big or PlayStation 5 game coming out? Is it Horizon? Like, what's coming out between now and Horizon?
I don't think there's much. I can't even think of what it would be. I can't even think about it.
Over on the Xbox side, FanFest. So as I talked about, they did an early screening of the first 3 episodes. The actual documentary is really good. If you have any interest in like how Xbox came to be, from the early days when Microsoft had just released I think it was Windows 98 at the time, and they obviously Office was out. They were not in the hardware business. They had a couple of peripherals, a couple like ergonomic keyboards and mice and. That was about it. They had a game studio. I remember playing some of their games like Moto Master GP, and I think they had like a Midtown, it was like a San Francisco, driving around San Francisco type of game, and I had the whole steering wheel and everything for my PC to play it. But apart from that, I think Age of Empires was their biggest game that they were known for. And the team of DirectX, small scrappy team, went and they made Xbox. DirectX Box led to the name Xbox. So it's a really interesting story. They actually did a great job on the documentary. The first 3 to 4 episodes is mostly surrounding the actual creation, how it came to be, how they got to market, all those kinds of things, the insane timeline they were on to get there. And then the last 2.5 episodes was about Xbox 360, the whole Red Ring of Death problem, and then them really taking dominance over that generation versus the PS3, which was just poorly marketed and poorly priced. And then how the whole industry flipped when Xbox One and PS4 were on the way out, and Xbox did all the things that PlayStation did wrong with the PS3, and PlayStation did all the things right with the PS4 that Xbox 360 did, getting the pricing right, focusing on games, all that kind of stuff. It's a really fascinating story. The only thing I have to say about the Xbox Fan Fest specifically, they did a short introduction at the beginning. They did a reaction thing at the end. It was awful. The hosts kept looking off to the left and then would speak. And it was like very obvious they had a teleprompter and they were super, super monotoned. It didn't sound well prepared. It didn't sound authentic. It just sounded like two people who were just put on these chairs and just kind of like looked and read from a teleprompter. I was really underwhelmed by that portion of it. So I hope future Xbox Fan Fest events will be a little bit more engaging. Yeah, they had a chat. Yeah, they had that stuff. They said Major Nelson was in the chat. I don't know. I saw people saying that they didn't, they never noticed or saw him. So it is what it is. Final Fantasy 16's this month? Really? I'm genuinely surprised because I feel like I haven't heard anything.
So for PlayStation 5.
No, you're saying 6.
Oh, yeah.
Final Fantasy 6.
So for PlayStation 5, there's the only thing that comes out really is like this tomorrow. You got Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach that's coming out for PlayStation. Again in January, the biggest game coming out is Rainbow Six Extraction. And that's not even got a full release date. It's just supposed to come out in January. The biggest game I think coming out for the PS5 in the new year before Horizon is Dying Light 2. It's got a lot of
I saw
traction, but that's cross series, that's cross platforms. So
yeah,
I mean, Horizon Forbidden West is the biggest PlayStation game coming out. That's an exclusive PlayStation game, and that's in February. Which I mean, you got Elden Ring coming out in February as well. Saints Row.
I'm just looking up. I'm just looking up this whole Final Fantasy 16 coming out. It's not coming out anytime soon. The rumored date that some people think is June of next year, but there's been no official release date that I can find. If you know of one, feel free to put a link in the comment. But I have not seen anything to suggest, and I haven't seen any marketing or anything to suggest that it's coming out anytime soon. I mean, if 15 was anything to go by, it could be a lot longer yet before we get it.
Which I'm on this website here.
It happens.
I'm on this website and it's talking about it tells you what's coming out. So GTA 5 has a release date for March, and GTA. So I'm like, what else does this fucking game need to release? Fuck off.
I think at this point they're gonna do a GTA 5 Skyrim crossover where you're gonna have the characters like Trevor and everyone from Grand Theft Auto 5 in Skyrim. You're gonna wake up on the cart, you're gonna look around, it's just gonna be the three of them, and you're gonna be like, I'm gonna go back to sleep now.
What? Jeez. We got this DLC for the online thing, but I want an in-game story. DLC. I understand how complicated that would probably be with the biggest series game that they have.
They could do it.
I'm sure
they could absolutely do it. I think it's just that online is where the player base is right now.
No, I get
the
that.
Story mode was always for specifically for GTA 5. The story mode was always a means to getting people into the online. The same way Red Dead Redemption,
unless it kicks you off in the first 5 minutes, which
get people into online.
It kicked me off. I started the online because the online thing is it's a race, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I didn't like me and it kicked me out. So I was
you should have been better. Why?
No, fuck that game.
So much?
Fuck it. You know what? I've had enough of this GTA 5 bullshit. It's been 4 or 5 years of this shit. Give me GTA 4 remake. Give me that.
An official remake. Yeah.
Or give me
not this remaster shit that was awful. A proper remaster. You know what? I want Elder Scrolls 6. We got a teaser years ago. We haven't seen anything since. I'm really pissed. Skyrim has been out for a decade. They're coming out with the 10-year anniversary edition. Elder Scrolls 6. Come on. I know Bethesda's been bought by Xbox now. It's probably not going to come to PlayStation. You're going to have to play it on your PC or Xbox. Whatever. I just want that game. I'm so sick and tired of waiting.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, if you got I wouldn't say that because if you look at it this way, because we got what was it, MLB that went over to Xbox PlayStation Studios. I think they're going to be opening it up a little bit more.
I thought I read though that like Bethesda might not be releasing games for PS5. Let's see, Bethesda games for PS5. Okay, so there was an article in March of 2021 that said PS5 players won't get future Bethesda games.
Well, that's just a stupid point. That's just dumb on their part,
I guess. And this is at the time. It could have changed since, but Xbox boss Phil Spencer has confirmed that future Bethesda games will be exclusive to platforms where Game Pass exists. Things can change. Who knows? I think there was talk about Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, whether or not they become Xbox exclusives or whether or not they would continue to be released. I see Pantsu talking. Starfield isn't even out yet. They said you wouldn't see Elder Scrolls 6 before Starfield is done. I know, but I want Elder Scrolls. I'm sure Starfield's going to be fine as long as they don't fall out for it, but I want Elder Scrolls. I don't know. Yeah, it's looking like Bethesda games are really, really, really going to be heavily focused on moving
I get
Xbox and PC,
I get it.
Right?
If you buy a company, sure.
And it was like a $7 billion acquisition, man. Like it was a lot of money. And I'm sure
Xbox players are pissed that they can't play the Spider-Man game, which is a fantastic game. Yeah. But also definitely. Xbox can go fuck themselves. So like here's this thing. That's all.
You know what's interesting though?
That's all I got.
So today I got an email from Nintendo. They did their year in a review now. Everybody's got a year in a review now, right?
Before we get into that, sure. I love how Nintendo didn't show a damn thing, and they were just like, you know what? Buy more products. We're just going to show you ad after ad after ad, but we're not going to show you any games. We're not going to show you anything.
Was there?
We're not going to show you anything. We're just going to
send more ads. Here's a shiny new Switch OLED.
Yeah, we're just going to put more ads at the beginning.
For it.
Like, I swear to God, at every commercial break, it was a Nintendo ad. And I was what the fuck? How much money did they pay not to do anything? But this?
So back to you. Go back to my story. So I get this email, Nintendo year in review. And it's like the saddest year in review because it shows your stuff compared to last year. And clearly I had some life-changing events. I became a dad and I moved and
tell us more.
But literally like my playtime cut in by 60%. My amount of games went from like double digits to like 5, I think I played, and I think those games were Mario Party, Mario Golf. I can't even tell you what the other ones were that I played. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was thinking about it and I was like, the PS5 is the most recent console that I've gotten. And yet since I bought it, it's probably been the least one that I've played. I played Miles Morales start to finish, platinumed it. I was playing some of Kingdom Hearts remastered afterwards because what else is there on PlayStation right now? Yeah, I could go and play like Days Gone and whatnot, but I'm just not that interested in those games in the PS Plus collection. And I've played a lot of the big games like God of War and Last of Us 2, etc. I've played all of those before. And yeah, it'd be nice to go through and play God of War again and actually like finish all of the challenge modes. I can't remember what they're called. What were the arena fights you got into? It was against like I
don't remember. Yeah.
They were like winged angels, but I can't remember what they're actually called.
God damn it. It's a Greek
I know, it'll come to us. I would love to go back and actually try and finish all of those and beat all of them. But like honestly, I can't bring myself to turn on my PlayStation like ever. My PS5, there's just nothing bringing me to it. The Xbox, I'm playing all the time. What is the
character in Thor Ragnarok? What is her name?
Valkyrie.
That's what they were. They're Valkyries.
Oh, perfect.
You're fighting Valkyries.
Yes. That makes sense because it's all taking place in that world.
Yes.
Honestly, though, my Xbox has gotten the most playtime out of all my consoles recently.
Yeah. Boo. Anyways,
they've got the games out that I want to play. Game Pass is an amazing service, and like PlayStation's announced now, they are bringing out a service to compete with it. For the longest time, they tried to market PlayStation Now as a competitor to Game Pass. It wasn't. It was a cloud-based service that you stream games, and it doesn't compete with Game Pass. Game Pass is Netflix for games, and it's fantastic. It's a really, really, really good service.
See, I find Xbox is very, very online-based.
They're moving service first, by far. Yeah. PlayStation still really focused on hardware.
And I find that the stories in their games, that's why they take forever to come out. Are very story-based.
Japanese focused, right? They're a Japanese console maker, and they're focused on that part of the world. They like their RPGs. They like their stories a lot more.
I should have been Japanese. Well, that's how we should have been.
You should have been Japanese, Alex. Whereas, North America is very much like action adventure heavy. Everybody loves their shooters. Xbox was known, like the 360 was known as like the shooter box, right? Everybody was playing Call of Duty on it and everything. And it wasn't until later that it kind of like was more of a mix when Xbox One.
Yeah, then they just drove Gears of War into the ground.
Gears of War and Halo. Yeah, well, I mean, Gears of War is with a different publisher now. It's actually kind of coming back. The most recent one was pretty good. But yeah,
I don't remember. I just remember them going to a mountain, and there was a sun, and then there was a whole dad-son issue. And
yeah.
And then there was a tornado or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the hell is going on?
Genuinely, I think because like we used to play the first one, the second one, we had a lot of fun playing those.
Yeah, games. I played Gears of War 2 a lot online because it was like you, me,
Nikki,
Nick,
Dave, Ronnie,
Mitch.
Yeah. That was a good one. We had a lot of fun. I would say the most recent one, Gears 5. I think.
Oh, fuck.
I think it's Gears 5. It was really good. I think it's kind of like a return to form in many ways. I think you'd enjoy that one.
Never buying an Xbox again, so it's fine.
You don't need to. You can play it on a PC.
Never gonna do that either.
You can probably cloud stream play it on your Mac with a PlayStation controller. Think of that one. Actually, I don't know if a PlayStation controller works for Game Pass streaming. I don't know.
I'd rather not. Let's just, let's not defecate, all these things with this thing that's Xbox.
Although, if you want to know if that works, I mean, I'm open to bringing PlayPause back to YouTube and actually making videos again, and not just live streaming our podcast. But if anybody here is interested in actually seeing if a PlayStation controller works on a Mac to stream Game Pass games, I'm down to try it or hack it together. Why not?
Well, you might as well go for it.
Yeah. Game Pass is awesome. Some games are weirdly changed in terms of art style, like Battletoads. Did they really are you saying like it's changed for Game Pass? Because I think it's just the same game, but I know what you're saying if you mean like the return of Battletoads, how it's like a very different art style than what we got with the classic Battletoads. But it's also been a long time since there's been a Battletoads game, so they had to do something fun with it.
I get the benefit of a Game Pass. I get it. Like, I mean, it makes
awesome.
sense. But I mean, also, go fuck yourself, Xbox.
Yeah, brand loyalist.
Yeah, well, I feel like I'm always ganged up on. I didn't buy the PS5 for the games. I bought it for the dominance of owning a PS5.
Yeah. Now everybody's slowly catching up.
Now everyone's slowly doing it. Yeah. I saw I think Walmart had a whole drop last night.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Another one this morning that like there was like 1,000 of them for somebody, and I can't remember.
Yeah, they're finally making it.
Well, it's Christmas. I'm not surprised. It's like the iPhone. Like I was online last night looking at them. I'm like, I can get a 13 Pro on Monday.
Yeah.
And usually it's 2 to 3 weeks that they have the.
Oh yeah, it took me weeks to get mine.
Yeah, but now it's oh, you can get them in 4 days. You can get them.
I'm
like, I also don't have $1,400 to get it, but that's not the point.
That's not.
I mean, I guess I could pay it off. I could do the payment plan and do whatever you pay. Was it $60 a month just for 2 years? Not worth it.
I started my PS5 on the side. So it was in like my entertainment console, and I had a spot and it fit in perfectly, unlike the Xbox Series X, which fits no fucking where. You have to put it out, just like the Switch dock, because why do we have to make things that can't go into cubbies anymore, right? Totally agree. It looks so ugly on its side. I ended up putting it on top of my stand as well, so now I have like empty spots where I should be putting media consoles, and I can't.
Yeah, mine hasn't moved since I've got it, so
yeah.
It's always standing up, but
looks like a dehumidifier.
You mean the Xbox does? Yeah, the Xbox looks like a piece of shit. So looks like a Rogers modem that you spray.
What I don't understand is, so the Xbox Series X really reminds me of like the Mac Pro from 2013, the trash can Mac Pro, because it follows a really similar design profile. Yeah, it's like square and it's a matte finish instead of a glossy finish that's like cylindrical, but like I repaired a lot of those Mac Pros, and I can tell you the way they're assembled is eerily similar to how the Xbox Series X is assembled. And the big thing that Apple talked about with that, the big mistake they made with that Mac Pro was they engineered themselves into a hole, because once they wanted to upgrade components later on, put in a newer graphics card, better GPUs, the way the cooling system was designed, it wasn't good enough for newer hardware from AMD and NVIDIA, and because they were just getting hotter and hotter and hotter with the faster clock rates. And yeah, sure, like the Xbox Series X probably isn't going to see different hardware in it. It's got, you know, the RDNA to AMD chipset in there. Like it's probably not going to change much until you get like an Xbox Series X. I don't know what they're going to do. Is it going to be XXX eventually? Who knows?
Who knows? Well, we got the Xbox. Well, there is an Xbox fridge.
Literally a fridge for the Xbox.
And then there's the PS5 dehumidifier. So the dehumidifier I own looks like the Xbox. Like it's just giant rectangular brown box, but it's from like probably.
You know
like
what's really funny? Mine is even the same color scheme as my PS5. White and black.
Yeah. See, mine's brown and square, rectangular, but I never use it, so whatever. It kind of just sits there and gets dusty.
That's funny. But it kind of looks like something that Alienware would have pumped out in like the early 2000s. Like just the wacky shapes and everything. And it's funny because like the first time they revealed the PS5, I thought it looked kind of cool. I thought it looked good. And then like later on, I came to find myself like being a little bit more critical of it. And then once I got it and realized how fucking massive it is, like when we unboxed it last year, we did a video where we unboxed both of them side by side as we got them on launch day. I couldn't get over how huge it was. It's massive, like just a huge console.
So as of yesterday, and speaking of which, like I'm gonna bring this up because it was, I think it was announced yesterday or the day before, PlayStation finally decided, or Sony itself is announcing its own custom covers for the PS5.
They're finally gonna do like some.
They're doing their own. Yeah, they made a whole video about it. Let's see if I can get it.
Are they gonna allow like companies to license, like to get a licensed to release products? Is like,
oh no, I
so shitty of them, the way they've like addressed all these companies that release like their own covers for the PS5. They made it so easy to pop off those panels. You would think like that would be an obvious like market to like let resellers get into,
like,
you know?
but you know, geez,
I'm sure part of it's like cheapening the brand, right? They might like be worried that some like shitty covers are going to come out and then people are going to get like upset with the fitment and, you know, it's going to like devalue the brand. Maybe, who knows? I know Ferrari is really like bad about that. If you like go and you like modify your Ferrari or the logo in any way, they'll try and like, you know,
hi everyone, it's
take money off you
from Push Square.
But yeah, here they are. So like, here's the colors. You got black, red, blue. Like, you know what? They're bringing their own covers in, and they're.
I mean, that's cool. I really like the look of the black.
Yeah, the black's nice. I mean, I think I still really enjoy the white. Like I do personally. I like a lot of white stuff, like in that kind of sense. Like I've always liked the white phone or like the white whatchamacallits. They're also going to be releasing like the same colors, like controllers for them when you get them. Like so you can get the same stuff with them, and it doesn't say how much they're going to come to, and it doesn't really say when they come out either. But it's supposed to be out next year. Want to legally customize your. This is not even the PS5.
Wow, could you imagine if that was Sony's like description? Wow.
Yeah, no, but I get everyone's like a little upset about them, you know, not letting it make your own, you know, like I get like, you know, but it's a business in the end, right? So I mean, I get it. You don't want somebody infringing on your stuff and then fucking off on you.
I have to. This is like completely random. But Alex, I sent this to you earlier today, and I need to share it with our viewers because it's fucking awesome. For anybody, so like I follow like a YouTube channel called Corridor Crew Digital, and they do like a series called Tactical Reloads, where it's like them in action scenes. They're just doing very over the top reloads. Sometimes they do it with like Nerf guns, all that kind of stuff. This guy like clearly inspired with that took like household objects and did these just like amazing reloads of them. Had the same kind of like motion idle movement you would have in a lot of first person shooters too. Even like put together like this little HUD along the bottom. I just think this is so awesome. It's really like taking off right now. I think like it's just blowing up on Reddit. I think it's awesome. It's really cool. Also, notice his Half-Life tattoo there.
Yeah.
Yeah, too cool. I think
I don't think so. Strikeforce says, is this a Samsung crossover Galaxy name colors? I don't think Samsung and Sony are ever gonna fucking work together. I mean, they make opposite TVs and everything, but hey, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. I think it's just them trying to take them on. I don't know. I don't really need those colors. I like the white. I like the way it stands out.
I might switch mine up. Honestly, I kind of like that. There's some different options out there. The white, like, I mean, I have my PlayStation sitting on like a white TV cabinet, so I mean, like, it's fine. It's not like it looks bad, but I don't know. I like the idea of mixing it up. And the cool thing is, because they're releasing official stuff, you could technically pick up multiple. And you could do like multicolored consoles, which could be neat.
You know, they're gonna cost like $200. So why you're gonna
I don't know that.
Okay, it's Sony for fuck's sake. You know, if Xbox decided to come, you can change the case on the Xbox. You can't because it's a fucking brick, but that's fine. But if you could, they would do the same fucking thing. I would, as a businessman, I would charge a shit ton of money for stuff because people will pay it, like you, like me. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, but we will, because we like cosmetics. We like to be different, Alex. Come on.
The Joy-Cons for the fucking Nintendo Switch, $100 for a fucking new pair. That's outrageous.
And we own multiple because Jamie wanted different colors.
It's fucking outrageous. And like, am I gonna have to buy another pair eventually? Probably not, but I should. No, I don't have people that come over and hang out with me, so it's fine.
Hey, as of yesterday, the PS4 has been jailbroken officially.
I don't know what that means, but I don't.
It basically means that people have hacked like the OS, the kernel, and they can have at it. They can mod PS4s now in any way they want, and it won't just like immediately brick your console. It might on a software update, but if you stay on your software, it'll continue to work.
And I'm pretty sure
there's a high likelihood that this same like hack they used like seems like it might work on the PS5. So that's interesting for people who like to jailbreak their hardware.
I'm pretty sure Strikeforce is going to be all about it.
Yeah. Version 9. Fair enough. But still, like, that's kind of like a big version to be able to run homebrew apps and have fun with, right?
You guys are all committing crimes. You're all committing crimes, and I love it.
Pish-posh.
Wow. I was complimenting them, and then you just pish-posh me out of here. Whatever, Matt.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the games these days.
Yeah.
Mario Party is fun. They still need to release another fucking map though.
They need more maps. Yeah, and hopefully they will. Like they've been pretty good with like Animal Crossing, constantly pushing out new content. So I mean, like recent games have definitely gotten more love than the early Switch games, and I hope that's like a trend that continues because they're not releasing a lot of content. So one can hope.
So I know who Strikeforce is, right? I know it's a friend of mine. It's Chris.
Oh, hello, Chris. I had no idea.
First of all, I have offered, and he's saying maybe if you give me my PS3 back, I have offered to give it to you like 10 million times, and every time you're like, nah, and you know that's the truth. I don't even know where it is. Actually, no, I know exactly where it is, and I say, hey, go get it, and you're like, nah, next time never comes, Chris. Anyways, you just come over and steal my beer. That's fine, whatever. Everyone else does it.
You make it available for people to take.
I tell them to take it. That's not the point.
You had a fridge full of beer and you said, I'm never going to drink it. Go for it.
I just said that. I wish I had more cameras. Like this would be so much more dramatic. But
we really need a producer for Alex, folks.
Yeah, just me. Me and
I'm going to put up a posting. Yeah. We can't pay you anything. Well, you can have his beer, but
yeah, you get paid in beer that's been
the longer our podcast goes, the more like sloppy the camera.
And the worst part about that beer is I buy it. I don't even like so half of it's free and half of it I buy. But even then, it's just like,
oh man,
why do I do this to myself?
Yep.
But yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
So go on. No, go
on. In other news
of
Spider-Man
others
comes out on Thursday.
Spider-Man comes out on Thursday. It's not Spider-Man No Way Home. IGN gave it an 8. Just an 8. What a loser number. 8.
A lot of superhero films in the Marvel universe have not gotten terrific reviews.
Yeah, I mean, like Eternals I enjoyed Eternals, but people gave it a lot of shit. But
I'm very excited that it's finally got a Disney Plus release date because I'm not going to see it in theaters at this point.
Yeah, January 22nd, you can all watch Eternals. 22nd or the 12th? I don't remember. It doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure it's the 22nd. You can all watch Eternals on your Disney Plus subscription. And I suggest you watch it. It's a good story. It's a story movie, though. It's not like there's action in it, blah, 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 blah.
But stories are boring, Alex. I
but it's a very, very character-driven story. What else? We got? Yeah, Spider-Man comes out on Thursday. Are we excited? Or are we just like, you know what? Let's go with the motions. What are we feeling here? What are we feeling?
Spider-Man No Way Home? I'm excited. I think it's going to be good.
Yes. Most of the reviews I'm seeing are having a lot of endgame reactions. Like a lot of people like, but I feel like we already know what the biggest surprise is going to be. Maybe not the biggest surprise, because now it's not a surprise because we already know what's going to happen. Is the other two are showing up. That's just gotta happen. It's gonna happen. I think the only other biggest surprise that could happen, and it's not really a surprise, I guess, is the fact that like Venom shows up, or
that crossover.
Or there's like, or we actually see the evil Doctor Strange from the animated series. What if Toby's gonna be there? Toby will be there
for sure,
and so will Andrew Garfield. I guarantee it. I showed a clip earlier to Matt, like not earlier, but a couple weeks ago, from from the fucking trailer itself, where Spider-Man is being tucked in between two portals, but each side is a web attached to him that he hasn't shot, like one to his foot, one to his arm. So it's clear like he's being dragged into different directions by a different Spider-Mans. And then you obviously at the end of the trailer where the lizard's head just goes fucking a weird way. And Pansy's like, what if it suddenly Robert Rabbit itself and goes itself into the Spider-Verse? I mean,
why not? Let's do it.
It could.
The more the merrier at this point, right?
So I was reading today that Tom Holland said they were going to keep the whole multiverse thing a secret. What the fuck did I say they should have done? Because what they were going to say was they were going to do it, make it look like it was Doctor Strange versus Spider-Man. That's how they were going to play out the commercial.
They should have marketed it that way. Yeah, absolutely.
They should have marketed. They should have never shown that second fucking trailer.
I agree.
At all.
Yep.
The Doc Ock thing was cool enough with the Goblin laugh. That's all they had to show. Hell, they didn't even have to show that.
Leave it super mysterious, like the way that they did Endgame. Like the Endgame trailers were terrific because they told you nothing about what was happening.
Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if some fucking weird thing happens that we do see Miles Morales from the fucking animated.
I would love that so much.
He just shows up, and everyone's just like, "What the flying fuck?"
Well, he's the best Spider-Man, Alex, so he should be in it.
Okay. It won 1 Oscar and Matt's all over the fucking place.
Yeah, animated movies, they're good, Alex. You should start watching more of them.
What? I've seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah, well, you should watch more and respect the medium. That's what I see. Pantsu agrees with me. People know what's up.
Pantsu says it is the best Spider-Man film.
It is the best.
All right. Okay. Hold on here.
Here we go. You've lit a fire. And yeah, there's a second Spider-Verse movie coming. It just got announced. There's a trailer or a teaser anyway. It'll be out next October.
The best Spider-Man movie of all time. No. See, it's fucking animated. It does not make. Oh no. Maybe the best animated Spider-Man movie of all time. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. I'm not gonna say it's the best Spider-Man
because it's
movie.
Animated, can it be the best? Can it be the best movie? I still think one of my favorite movies of all time is How to Train Your Dragon 2. I love that movie. I think it's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, but Matt, you're a child. There's a difference.
I don't understand your point.
You were a literal child,
and I have a child.
You were a literal child. No,
the best period. See, it's Alex. You can't argue with our fans. Like, they're the reason we're here.
I don't know.
Talking about animated characters being animated in film format. There you go. Can't get any more legit than that.
I would disagree.
Oh, Strife Force, best Spider-Man movie. Are you agreeing? It's
what you're just saying best Spider-Man movie here. What are you saying is the best Spider-Man movie? Clarify your comments here.
We're waiting. Anytime there's Strife Force.
That's like saying, oh no, okay. That's like saying Batman the Animated Series is the best Batman stuff that's ever happened. Like, it's good. It's a good stuff.
There you go.
But all nothing right, Alex, beats.
It's 3 against 1 at this point. You're wrong. We're right.
There's a lot that could be said about this right now, but it's not gonna.
Oh man.
No.
Nah. But no. I'm so coming back to No Way Home. One of the headlines I saw today was basically just like Spider-Man No Way Home is a lot ... and that's not a bad thing. So like it seems like people are pretty into it. I'm really excited. I'm stoked. It's been a while since we've had a good theater going movie. There you go. That's better.
I don't know. I enjoyed the
Eternals.
And there was something else early in the year that I enjoyed.
Well, we saw Dune, which was interesting.
Oh, fucking Dune. No, don't get me started on Dune again. Fuck that.
There was a lot good about Dune. The things that weren't good about Dune was mostly to do with the story and the pacing, which I get they were trying to be very authentic to the book. But for me, who has not read the book,
yes, it was very
much like, what the fuck did I just watch?
The best. So I'm gonna cut you off there because of this comment here. Batman '89 is the best superhero film of all time. I would fight anyone on that. I mean, you could fight Endgame, but that doesn't count because Endgame is a fucking $1 million fucking for its time. It was like 30,000 different.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
30,000 different superheroes, but a singular superhero film. Nothing beats Batman 1989. Nothing. You got Prince making the music. You got Jack Nicholson probably is the best Joker ever. Fight me, I don't care. And then you got Michael Keaton as the best Batman ever. So again, fight me, I don't care. Best ones ever. Nothing. No Dune spoilers. God, if you read the book, I'll spoil it for you. If you haven't,
I'd say George Clooney was a pretty good Batman.
Matt, you need to relax, all right?
I can't. Honestly, it's kind of comical to even articulate to someone that George Clooney ever played Batman. Like, what? Who thought that was a good idea?
Hey, remember that time we were watching it
when George Clooney? Yeah, I do, and he kept smiling. Like
when I tell you, he looks down every fucking 5 seconds. It's like when you watch Gordon Ramsay, he does that too. He looks down every time he talks. He does this whole crosses his hands, looks down, talks.
Yeah.
Now, whenever you watch Gordon Ramsay, nodding, yelling at somebody, when he's actually just talking, you'll see it, and you'll be like, "What the fuck? Fuck you, Gordon Ramsay, you distracting little bastard." Anyways,
oh man,
one of us.
I will say though, I think Spawn was a pretty damn good comic book movie. And that's not me being over the top. I really do believe that was a good comic book movie. I haven't also.
So Spawn is still being worked on from Marvel. It's
like the newest one.
Yeah. They've said they're still working on it, but it's just fucking getting it out. It's been a hell of a work right now. because right now they're even trying to still get Blade to go work on it. And Blade has been casted and it's done this, so it's like it's there.
Yep.
It's just
a really great casting choice for Blade.
So it's just trying to get it going, but there's been some recent events for Blade. I can't say anything because it will spoil everything. That it looks like it's gonna do very well.
Nice.
Not very well. So it looks like it's going the right direction of being made. So
yeah,
which is good. Yeah. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not. I'm pretty Spawn's gonna be somebody else. I don't think Spawn's been casted yet.
No.
If we're still talking about if Strike Force is still talking about who was Michael J. White? Yeah. I don't remember. Okay, yeah, no, he's definitely not doing it. Who is it? Who's it going to be? I can't remember. Anybody else? Anybody else remember?
I can't remember. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Wow. I don't know. They had plans for it, but I can't remember. Anyways, yes, I know he was the original Spawn now that I'm looking at it. He was in Batman for like 2 minutes too. Or the Dark Knight Rises, sorry. But it's not going to be him. It's going to be, I don't think they've casted Spawn, but for Blade, they've got Mahala. Wow. Don't I seem like a horrible person?
Go on.
Mahershala Ali. Sorry, I didn't want to really fuck up his name that bad. But he's going to be playing Blade. He's going to be playing Blade.
Yes.
Alex
is struggling, guys.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
Has it?
Yes. It's been a lot of stupid stuff.
Not tax really. Evasion, Wesley. Ooh, got him.
Wow. Rude. Anyways, I think they wanted Wesley Snipes to come back at like in a Blade story somehow.
It would have been cool if he like played like the old man.
Yeah. I know. I think they're still. I think they still want him to come back and do stuff. But again, Wesley Snipes not very. It's like trying to hire back. I guess they did it. Mickey Rourke. I guess they did it. So
yeah, you can do it.
Mickey Rourke, now can't be hired because he's done some really stupid shit recently. But yeah. But it's Iron Man, so nobody cares about that anymore.
Let's talk about The Wheel of Time, the latest episode.
The Wheel of Time,
episode 6. There's 2 episodes left.
Amazon, most fix recent your fucking TV series. Like, holy shit!
You know what the worst part about it though is like how much of this could even just be like on Sony, who produced the show, and if they like didn't do a very good job mastering it. Regardless.
And it doesn't work on their fucking TVs.
Yeah, the technical aspects of the visual aspects of their HDR and 4K output not being great. The actual show I'm really enjoying. I think it's
drama wise, I mean, it was good. It was this last episode was okay. It was good.
It's all the setup for the final 2 for the big ending of the first season, right?
Yeah. The whole like, oh, they're not gonna get together all together, and then all of a sudden they're together at the end, and blah 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 blah. Kind of annoying.
Just for Matt to fuck it all up.
Classic Matt. Matt's always fucking it up.
Because if I remember correctly, Mr. Matt Cawthon does not do that in the book. As far as I recall, he enters the ways with them. So I'm.
By the way, if you've not watched this latest episode, we're just spoiling the whole thing for you.
Yeah, we don't give a shit. If you're listening to this, you've had 5 days to have watched it, so it's on you.
Friday, whatever day it is today.
Wednesday or Friday? It's Wednesday.
Comes out on Fridays.
Yeah,
Hawkeye comes out on Wednesdays.
Yeah. So it's been Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 4 days. 4 days.
Whatever.
Anyway, so yeah, everybody finally meets up. We find out a little bit more about Moiraine's relationship with I can't remember her name now, but the Amyrlin Seat.
That's her name. That is her name.
The head Aes Sedai. Well, her name's not the Amyrlin Seat, but
it is now. Her and the chair are one. Did you not watch the episode? It's the same thing.
Why do they have the same title and the chair has the same? It's confusing.
Lake Lady.
Now this is all interesting because none of this happens in the book. They never go to the White Tower and meet other Aes Sedai. Like in the first book, none of that happens.
Well, they did say it's like covering, like it covers the first future and some of the second one.
Talk about events that were occurring during the events of the first book, like while like the journey was happening, but like a lot of the stuff that like we're seeing happen never happened in the book. So they are like, you know, condensing, but also like merging storylines to make like their narrative flow, and so you understand it. And I get it. It would be impossible to translate the book in the way things were done to the television series without making it like a stupid long series. So I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. It's fine. I am enjoying it. I enjoyed this most recent episode. I thought it was good to see, you know, Moiraine interacting with the other Aes Sedai, how they handled the whole disciplining action, all that kind of stuff, even if it means that other stuff is going on that you don't know about. It seems like a whole like Game of Thrones type of thing, a lot of politics, a lot of, you know, inner working drama between characters and whatnot. So yeah, I'm excited. I thought they did a good job of like getting them to the ways and really like building up like, all right, you're about to enter some shit. The thing that I'm getting a little bit annoyed about is that none of the characters have had any time to like really like train with their weapons and be like ready for a big battle. And like, you know, Rand should have been training with Lan throughout, you know, the journey and learning how to use this amazing sword that Rand really doesn't know anything about. But you'll notice several times you've seen this heron on the sword, really close to the hilt on the blade, and that means something, and they have not addressed it once in the show. But Tam, Rand's father, he was a guy who knew how to handle a sword, and there's a reason he had that sword.
And that was pretty obvious that there was something about that, and they kind of talked about it.
And like, Lan knows well, what's his face? It means.
Like, yeah, and then is that his name?
Lan Mandragoran. He's the warder for Moiraine.
Okay, there's that. But also the builder, whatever his name is,
like the blacksmith, Perrin.
No, the builder from the city. You see in the one episode when he meets Rand, when he's in the White Tower City, the Trolloc guy. He calls him out for it. He's like, "Well, you don't look like a Two City guy," and he's like, "Yeah, but I went from there." He's like,
yeah,
like, but you're like from this. So that obviously is something that Rand doesn't even know, right? So obviously there's gonna be more to it, but
there's a lot, and in the book at this point you already know. Because even Tam tells Rand to his face as like he thinks he's dying. He tells him what his like background is, and Nynaeve also knows because in the books, Nynaeve's like 10 to 20 years their senior. They're supposed to be like 14, 15. Obviously, in the show, they've made all of their ages much, much closer, right? So they're having liberties, and it's fine. It works for the show, and I don't mind it so much.
First says, I love it, but I also feel the heavy man hate gender politics. I don't know what that means, but yeah, obviously everyone hates men.
It's clearly the Red Sedai hate the men, obviously.
But she's having a love or interest in the outside of the city, so what a shock. And Meereen knows about it, and it's a whole thing. Like, how long has she been holding on to that? It's like she's been like holding on to that for the point of this point. I'm like,
I mean, she's a blue. She's got all the knowledge, right?
See, that's the thing. They still haven't fucking described what all these colors mean. You have to like guess. Like, obviously, greens are like healers in a sense, and then the blues are like just. It doesn't. I think reds are the action of the soldiers. But then this blue thing is just blue. They're just there. They just know. I guess they're the knowledge of this fucking group.
Yeah, they're like the investigators. Yeah,
just explain it for once in your fucking show.
Like, you'll notice they have all like the people throughout the city who are like watching and like informing them, like informants everywhere. Like they're very much like the ones who like seek knowledge, right?
And then in this episode, out of fucking nowhere, they throw in yellow. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on now. Like, just get with your colors here, people, and explain yourselves. Jesus.
Or not, you know.
Well, clearly not. They're gonna be like, oh, well, they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. They're smart people.
All right, let's look it up because I actually don't have a good memory. I read these books over a decade ago, so let's see.
The yellow people. I assume they're healers as well, but they're probably a different kind of healers because that's the way. Because he's clearly the yellows are healing. What's his face that are attacked by the wolves or whatever, and then the whites or people are like. This feels like a little like off-putting, even though it was written by a white guy, I'm sure. But like, all the white cloaks are all bad. I mean, that's kind of like, I get it. Whenever you have a white cloak, it is like bad in history. But I'm just saying.
So here's the breakdown. So there are 7 Ajahs, so 7 colors.
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
Blue, red, yellow, green, gray, brown, and white.
What is this? Lord of the Rings?
Probably. So Yellow Ajah heals, so it's actually yellow who are healers. Blue is about righteous causes and justice. The Red Ajah loathes men and focuses on the misuse of the one power, especially as it pertains to men channeling. The Green Ajah stands ready for the last battle. Grays are all about diplomacy and politics. Browns put their energy towards gathering and preserving knowledge. And finally, the White Ajah homes in on philosophy and logic.
So we did see the brown. I don't think we saw any whites, unless the leader is white and she's the only white.
No, the leader's blue. Remember, she was blue.
No, but she was born. Maybe she comes white because she was dressed white, right?
The why am I forgetting her name?
Because we didn't see any whites. Well, we did see one white.
The Amyrlin seat. She's like representative of all Aes Sedai equally. They were all sitting in the room, and you would notice when Moiraine was like accepting her penance and they were like doing the top down bird's eye view, there was all the colors were surrounding her on the floor.
So I only saw burgundy. I saw it. We obviously know that's now brown or whatever.
And
I saw blue and I saw red and I saw green. I guess the girl that it was kind of had the staff kind of thing, she was white, I guess looks like. And then and then the people who brought in the man.
Yep. That was a combination of different Aes Sedai.
They looked all white. Colors. They were all dressed in white, but there was a man in the servants. So I assume those were just servants then. But because there was
let's not confuse like the white like group of men who are out trying to kill Aes Sedai.
No. I'm talking about when they brought in the fake dragon, it was a bunch like from in his chains and whatever. Yeah, it was a bunch of servants dressed in white. So it was So I figured, that could be the gray, but there was a man, so I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know how I have servants. And then there's the ninjas who are just associated with these people. Oh, fuck. There's a lot of things.
Talking about the warders?
Yes, doesn't make any sense.
Oh, they're not ninjas.
Like, where do they come from?
Protectors.
You're telling
me
from
all over.
Yes, I understand that, but like, where? Like, why? How do they have this connection with the Aes Sedai? They don't ever explain that. How do they just pick this person? And how are they not?
They did briefly talk about it an episode or 2 ago where they talk about like the warder who commits suicide because he just can't live without his Aes Sedai anymore, right? They bond, right? They meet over time. They pick each other, right? It's very much a relationship. It's a partnership, and then they bond through the one power, and they become bonded. So what one feels, the other one feels, and so on and so forth. And they're very like connected. They're very much like in line with their thinking. It's kind of like when you watch Pacific Rim and you see like the 2 people combining together to control a single Jaeger. Similar idea, just like not operating the one power together. They're just like soul bonded almost. And it doesn't mean that if like you die, I die. It just means that like I'm gonna feel a lot based on what is happening to you.
Stupid. Just fucking explain it. Like, I understand there's like the whole mystery and you're supposed to learn throughout the show.
Yep.
But fucking explain it at some point in the show.
Yeah, I get that.
And like the whole they keep talking about the dragon that it could be. It's clearly that that it could be one of them. And Matt's got this darkness in him. and then blah 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 this, blah 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 that. Like, oh, it could be more than one person. We don't know yet. Fuck off. And I guarantee you they're gonna like leave it right at the last very second and not tell us and then start a new season.
Yeah. It's good to see that the Daggers finally been like separated from Matt, and Moiraine was able to, pull the Shadar Logoth like black mist out of him. And
and then what was Nynaeve gonna do? Like Diane, whatever her name is. What was she gonna do?
She's just gonna do like her
Yeah, clearly it took a lot more than just what naturopath stuff was gonna do. Like you look at it, it's like
tea.
Yeah, she comes in with like some like roots and some vegetables. I'm like, what were you gonna do with that? It clearly had to be sucked out of this fucking guy. So like, what were you gonna do? What? It didn't, and she did seem embarrassed after it. And
Moiraine like really like talked down to her in that moment. She's like,
as you should, because like, what the fuck? I would have said, I would have saw that and been like, what were you gonna fucking do there? What were you gonna do?
Yeah,
she's too nice. I would be so much more angry.
Nynaeve's continued like inability to trust.
Well, she hates them because we haven't figured out why. And then she hates them.
She talked about it. It was her mentor went and wanted to become an Aes Sedai, and the Aes Sedai turned her away. And so that apparently was enough to make Nynaeve hate her completely. But I mean, Nynaeve grew up under this mentor, learning from this wisdom, blah blah blah. So that's her reason. She doesn't trust the Aes Sedai.
Pish posh. Fucking
Pish posh.
Anyways, yeah, that's all right. It looks good when it can.
It's building up to the Eye of the World now. They're entering the Ways, which is like a super dangerous way of traveling long distances.
I feel like the show though is just the pacing of it just seems so off. Like it's like it's got so many characters
have gone by, right?
Like,
it's probably been like a year that they've been traveling in like their time, but like you don't really see them change clothes. They're
pretty sure one of them just said it was like a fucking week. I swear to God, one of them said it was like a week.
No, I think one of them was talking about how it was like a week that they were there in Tar Valon. But like the actual journey, like because when Moiraine asks Rand how long he's been like this, he's like a few months. And it's like, wow, they left Shadar Logoth like months ago, really? Like didn't really feel like that watching the show, right?
Well, there's that. And then there's so many characters and it's not flowing properly. In my opinion, like granted, like it's just like, well, they're just cutting things out and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, how did they escape the White Cloaks and then all of a sudden get to the White Tower?
Yeah, there was no explanation of how
they
managed to get
it made no sense.
Journey.
They were just there,
especially with like the shape that Perrin would have been in leaving.
Yeah, so that's just us overthinking about the show, but also fuck it, figure it out, be better. But also there's Dexter. That's what I don't know if you haven't started watching it yet, but
no, I haven't.
The most annoying thing about Dexter right now is that it keeps ending with these giant cliffhangers, and I fucking hate it. So, anyways, but yeah, it's really annoying. What does Trace say here? He's got very hard to add so much in 8 episodes. It's true. Just make a fucking movie. But
it would have been harder to do it in a movie.
It would have to be a Lord of the Rings thing where they have to do like 40 movies, and you're like, all right,
editions on top of that.
If they made a movie of this book, it would be Lord of the Rings because they'd be walking for fucking 10 years, and like for 3 movies. Like, all right, we get it. You're walking. Oh wow, you met an animal. Wow, congratulations. They met spiders in Lord of the Rings. Well, a spider tried to kill him. Kind of did. Yeah, fucking. The similarities between this and Lord of the Rings are just unbearable. And they're both on the same network coming up. So it's like that network, but streaming service. And it's hilarious to me. Hilarious.
Cool, man.
Hilarious. Yeah. Well, this has been fun.
Yeah.
So we obviously are doing this today on Tuesday. So if you're listening to this on your podcast app, we obviously usually do these on Wednesdays. So but tomorrow, this being Tuesday again, I say Survivor season finale. Oh, it's a big deal. So, it's a 2-hour episode. I gotta watch. We might, if there's some interest, we might live stream it. You never know. Like live stream the reactions. We can't legally show
the
show, but let's see my placement real quick on this. In this, I'm third place. Fuck me. No, I'm second place. This thing sucks. This website's kind of bad, but I am second place. I am 30 points behind Ronnie. So, and he only has one guy who shouldn't be on the show anyways, by the way. He's messed up so many times. But somehow he keeps saying on the fucking show.
Nobody suspects him to not continue to screw up, which means he's not a threat.
No, the thing is he does keep doing good though. They need to get rid. Anyways, I have two players still, and they're both doing pretty well. So how am I not winning? I don't know yet. But my guy better win the fucking $1 million and get me my $80. So just saying. Anyways, that's why we're not.
I think Jamie wants to join in on that next year, so I might be forced to watch it and join in on the pool.
Oh, snap. You have no idea how much fun it is until you do it. Because then you get just so mad at these people because they're so stupid and they don't even look for idols. And then you get mad when they do because they can't find it, even though it was right beside them the whole fucking time. Fucking idiots, I tell you. Open your eyes. Anyways, it's easy to say from your couch. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck off. Watch the show. So yeah, that's why we're not doing it tomorrow.
Long story short,
I apologize for swearing a lot there. Survivor takes a lot out of me. And, it's gonna be if we do live stream it. Yeah, I will. Thank you. I will enjoy Survivor. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Anyways, so until next week, Matt and I will have and maybe Steph, she joins us, a full review of Spider-Way. Spider-Man.
Spider-Way.
No Way Home.
Get your protein, Spider-Way.
We will try to put up our own personal, play plot.
Oh my god.
Play pause review of the very next day, number wise. We don't do rookie numbers if you don't know that. So rookie numbers being a solid number, like IGN, like fuck off,
like 8.
7.9 or 8.1. Get over it.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. And if Matt gives it a 10, I will lose my shit. I will yell at him.
I'm just gonna whatever you rate it, I'm gonna rate it in a way that if you put them together and average them out, it's gonna be a whole number.
I'm gonna put I'll put a 7.921. You have to do all this math to figure it out.
If only calculators exist.
Yeah, well, they also said we would never have calculators on our position at all times. Little did teachers know. Little did teachers know. Anyways, thanks for joining us today for on this little adventure of ours.
Yeah.
Anything to add, Matt?
Stay classy, everyone.
Wow. That went weird.
Yeah.
Anyways,
weird.
See you next week. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye-bye. Bye.